This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. It's a gain of 14 there. And the 49ers are going to get a first.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss. And they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll look to throw here on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
Here we go.
And they'll run it here. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down.
Let's go.
They'll drop to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. They lost 4 there, and it's third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Finding time. Throwing right, and that's complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
Well, they held them to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at them. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
They're going to look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Third down now following the completed pass. They come up with an offset eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Second down following the run. Now a handoff here to his running lead, taken down at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. 3rd down and 1.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stumped him. So now he brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and it may be a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
Let's go! Green, 39! Green!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Here with a tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
How about the defensive linemen? That's where a good run defense begins, with the guys up front. When they hold the line, hold the point of attack, that allows everyone else to get there and make tackles.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Textbook defense. Nowhere to go for the runner. They get there. They make the tackle. Play over.
And the dreaded 3rd and long here for the offense.
Let's go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Great protection. He'll rifle. It got his man complete. A big 3rd down play there for the Niners. 44 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. Well, let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. He'll look to throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Their big-bodied receiver, 83 yards. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Now the try here for the point after. And it's up and good. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
You're watching the NFL playoffs on EA Sports. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the fourth and final quarter.
Here we go! Ohio!
Back to throw now on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's got time. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
They'll look to throw here. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Second down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see.
Here we go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to...
And a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. A chance for us to look now at this 49ers defense. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, partner, I haven't seen a vote for most popular player on the team. This guy's got to get a lot of votes. He does not care, does he? Totally unselfish, physical runner, doesn't worry about yardage, just keeps moving the chains, being a team player.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
One of the beauties of a 3-4 defense is that you have flexibility with your linebackers, and you can put them in different spots. But one of the downsides is an offensive team that's committed to running the football, you can get your big offensive linemen up on linebackers quicker, and it usually gives you an advantage in running it. Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the defensive unit now for the Buccaneers onto the field. They did their job last go-around, forced the punt, hoping for more of that here.
They got off the field. That's exactly what they wanted to accomplish. Get off the field, turn the ball over to their offense, and kick back and enjoy a little bit of water and rest before they have to go back out there again.
Back out there now, hoping to hurry up and get more water and rest. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
I've yet to meet a wide receiver who likes to block more than catching the football, but the best ones understand that that's how they'll actually get more passes thrown to them if they help in the run game. And anytime you get a run of that yardage, that means the wide receivers did help. They get down to what a lot of people call the 2nd level, the linebackers, or the 3rd level where the defensive backs are, and they get out in front and put their bodies out there and create more space for their runners to gain the yardage.
And to give this time to the tailback. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. One receiver left, 2 to the right.
Come on, let's go.
They'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell, sell, sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it downfield. Instead, he slips it off to the running back, and when you get one set perfectly, you have to catch the ball, and that didn't happen on that play.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 there, and it'll give the Bucs a first down.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. And they'll go on the ground. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
I'd sure love to offer some advice to the defensive coordinator, but his guys are just getting run over by an offense that's executing like a well-oiled machine.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They come up with an offset eye. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Call it a pickup of 7, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
4th and 1. I don't think Wild Horses could have dragged that quarterback off the field. He was motioning to go for it from the start. And sure enough, it's the ground game that gets him the first down.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Tie game here, time starting to run down. The defense really needs to try and keep this game tied, see if they can get the ball back to the offense. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And on the ground they go with the running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you get the...
And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And his kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Well, now then, it's a big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth. But, Charles, there is still time left for a final drive.
Brandon, you know they would have liked to take the clock down just a little bit further, at least under a minute or so, but this one's not over yet, especially since they just need a field goal.
This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Back to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And now down to 14 as he spikes it to stop the clock. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They're going to look to throw. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
And an overtime playoff game, but the rules, they stay the same as they did in the regular season.
That's exactly right. Whoever scores first, unless it's a touchdown, the other team has a chance to match. That's how it really gets played out. But remember this, no matter how far we go in overtime, in the regular season, there was only one period. Here, we're going to go until we have a winner.
This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Except for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll set up to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Ah, yes, this is where the expression staying ahead of the chains comes into play. Good runs like that one set you up well for 3rd down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Fresh set of downs here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the play. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And now a first down following that long gain. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Fake. They'll look to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And his kick here is good. And they have regained the lead. All right, so they're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now it'll be up to their defense to try and see this one out.
So remember now, a field goal on this next drive would get us to sudden death. Any kind of turnover or turnover on downs would end the game, as would any touchdown. So this one's still very much up in the air.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now the 49er offense ready to go and getting back out onto the field. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive, they're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is what?
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Watch right. Get the ball. Check 99.
They'll look to throw here. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. And here's your ball game. Down 3 in overtime, but they're going for this thing on 4th down.
We got three, fellas. Here we go. Brand 38.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
And for Charles Day,